Good morning everybody, it's Friday morning, the 1st of June. Still in lockdown officially, but I can go for a little walk, so I've come for a little walk. Now, that house over there, which you can't see properly, but it's the one with the white wall, the big 3-storey house, is where I was brought up. And it was a great place to live. They're doing some work there at the moment, and I think they're people who've got no taste, because look at the way they've done it. They've got flipping lions on the wall, and when the wall itself was the same as next door, which was what was the name? The solicitor who lived there. He was my solicitor anyway, and they lived next door, Tony. And I used to go and visit her occasionally, up until the point where she died. So I guess the whole road now has more or less changed. A lot of them are flats, and as I say, my house, they've just ruined it with what they've done. My house, which is my house, number 12 Park Road. Anyway, that's my house, and come across the road, here's my park. This is my old stomping ground. There's a tree here that should have my initials on somewhere. Here, it doesn't look like a big incline, but when we got snow, all of us kids used to come out. We used to slide down here. It's really breezy, it's blowing my hat, so I'm probably jogging the camera back. Right, we'll go up to this tree here. And this tree is where I used to sit with my sisters. We used to come and sit there, and they used to flirt with the fellas. And I was just a little girl, and I used to sit there quietly, minding my own business. That tree in the middle, is that an oak tree? I think it is, isn't it? I wonder if it's still got my initials on. Look how they've let the grass get long. It was never like this. Now you see where I lived, behind that white van. So it was just a hop, skip and jump to the park. Fantastic. There's the tree, the love tree for my sisters. And all over there, before that was built, whatever that is, I think it's part of what used to be the hospital, all of that there used to be a bluebell wood, and it was just carpeted with bluebells, which you could climb over the fence to pick. But this is the tree, and unfortunately the park's not looking at its best because they just haven't been caring for it, unless it's because of the lockdown and everything. The swings and the big clock that you can see behind the swings, just across the road from that big clock, is my school. So it was straight through the park, straight to school. And coming home, it was straight from school to the swings and then home. I love this park. Let's put you on hold while I get somewhere interesting. Just there, the space there, every summer there used to be a great big marquee, and I can still remember the taste of the ice creams. They were that cold, they would burn your tongue. They were lovely. and they had all sorts of entertainment. They had like clowns and singing acts and talent shows, and that was every summer, and it was there for about, I don't know, about 2 weeks in total, and it was, you know, it was really good. So there's my road. It was a brilliant place to be brought up, absolutely brilliant. I've been informed by my son that these stripes in the park are for the social distancing, so if somebody's on the part that's being mowed, the other person has got to be where on the other part that's not been mowed. Is that right?
No, the other mowed part.
They've got to have one between them, or two?
One.
Yeah, they've got to have. So if I'm standing here, the next person has got to stand in the second one across over there. Okay, we'll get down to the bandstand. Here's the infamous bandstand. They used to have a band in there, obviously, occasionally. And they had all the benches round it as well, like this, so you could, you know, come and listen, come and watch, which was nice. But we kids used to climb all over it. And I climbed on it. Like I used to climb the trees in this park. There's not many trees I haven't climbed. And I climbed on this bandstand. And just around here there used to be steps, I think, here. Which clearly aren't there anymore. And here, on the wrought iron, there was, oh no, the steps are over there, there was metal, there was cast iron spikes. And I was only a little girl, I was still at primary school, I wasn't very old. And I climbed and I slipped and I fell onto the spike and it went through my knee. And 2 men came dashing over and had to lift me up and off the spike. And they carried me home over there. And my brother-in-law was there at the time. That's Billy Williams' dad, my nephew who died this week. His dad was there, and he took me to the hospital over the road, the women's hospital, and they bandaged my knee up. But I had to go to the children's hospital to have stitches and be seen to properly. And I remember the nurse, and I was about 8, 9, and I remember the nurse saying to me, "Don't be such a crybaby." And it was in my head to say, well, you know, I am a baby. You know, I was about 8 years old. Over there, where the kids are playing, just over there is the tennis courts. And I always wanted to play on the tennis court. And it was 2 and 6, which today is 12.5 new pence, whatever that is in dollars if you're over in the States. But my mum would never give me the 2 and 6 to go and play, so I never got to play on them. Not officially anyway. Right, we'll go down this way. See, it's a lovely bandstand, isn't it? People have to spoil everything, leaving litter and rubbish. I mean, there's not so much here, but they do. And they take away all the things, you know, all the old things that to me were far better than the improvements that they brought in. But I'm glad they've kept this bandstand more or less as it was. The dog roses, they grow absolutely anywhere, in any situation. Aren't they beautiful? Oh, she's singing to herself. Oh dear. See, there's the gate to the bottom of the road. And there is a family there actually, they're still there. The Husseys, they lived there with their parents. I was friends with the younger girl, and the older kids inherited the house and they stayed. So, and that place there is a nursery where we would climb over at night. We shouldn't have, but we did. And when the grass had been mowed, they used to get it all up in a pile in front of a low roof and get up on the roof and jump onto the pile. And I also had a gypsy caravan, and I could tell when I was getting bigger because I could squeeze in for a couple of years, and then it got to the point where one day I realised I could hardly squeeze out, so that was the end of my caravan journey. Oh, that's a stream. And as kids, it's really overgrown. I don't think I'm going to venture down. As kids, we would get onto the bank and walk all the way along to the Stratford Road, just for the hell of it, and get home with muddy wellies or muddy boots, and have a good walloping off my mum. So isn't it a nice little park? From that road, straight over, up to the swings. Hear the birds cooing. It's lovely. So there it is, Park Road Nursery. They had the preschoolers during the day, and then us big kids at night, but they didn't know about us. You get a better idea of the houses, and I can tell you that they're big inside. There's a big front room, which my mum used to keep the best, a bigger middle room, which was our television room, which used to be kept in sort of semi-darkness, and the telly was in there, and we had patio doors going onto the garden. And then there was a small room where Mum used to keep groceries, etc. But it was as big as a small bedroom. And then there was a big kitchen with an open fire range and a table and a sideboard. And then there was a part that my mum called the scullery, which is where she prepared and cooked all the food. And then just outside there were three outhouses, one for coal, one for bikes and stuff. I don't know what the other one was for, and the other one was an outside lavatory. So they are quite big houses. Upstairs there are 3 bedrooms on the middle floor. There's a small box room at the back, there's a bathroom, and go up again and there's a great big massive attic that runs the length of the house, which some of the houses had partitioned off and made it into 2 rooms, but we just had it as an attic, and for some time I was able to sleep up there. I loved it. So I don't like what they've done with lions on the window, but that was our house. Right, so I'm going to end the video there. I hope you've enjoyed the little walk with us this morning, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye, God bless.